The toy maker Hasbro has fired back in a letter to shareholders rejecting calls from an activist who wanted the company to spin off its Wizards of the Coast gaming unit. Brian Sazzi, you've been covering this story closely. What's up?
Yeah, this is turning into a complicated battle, Julie. So let me hit the finer points and go through it very, very slowly. So I would say Hasbro fired two shots back at active investor Connor Haley over at Alta Fox. First, naming two board members to its board. First one is Elizabeth Hammer, and you can see her qualifications there on the screen. Very accomplished executive in her own right. And the second person named to Hasbro's board is former Yahoo executive Blake Jorgensen. In addition to Yahoo, he spent a lot of time in electronic arts, also a very well-regarded executive. Now, in addition to appointing these two folks to the board, Hasbro's chairman, Richard Stoddard, also fired back in a letter he wrote that was filed yesterday, noting that members of Hasbro board and directors and management team have had a series of conversations with Alta Fox to hear its views over the last few months before it went public with its campaign and since, and to reach resolution in a manner that is in the best interest of all shareholders. I will note Hasbro also filed the proxy statement where they detailed all the meetings and all the conversations between Hasbro and Alta Fox. It does appear that Hasbro tried to come to some form of resolution with Alta Fox. That was not agreed to, so that was that. Now, Stoddard went on to say the board has also evaluated a tax-free spinoff of Wizards of the Coast. That's what Alta Fox essentially wanted, and concluded that is unlikely to create value, is contrary to Hasbro's strategy, and would negatively impact the benefits Wizards realizes today from Hasbro's brand blueprint on a consolidated basis. As a result, the board believes pursuing such a transaction would not be in the best long-term interest of all our shareholders. Now, of course, this prompted a response. As you can see, Julie, very complicated situation here. This prompted a response from Alta Fox's Connor Haley, saying, quote, Chairman Richard Stoddard and other apparently entrenched directors have chosen to force a costly, distracting, and unnecessary election contest rather than collaborate with a sizable shareholder on a credible director refreshment process that would have finally demonstrated the company is not being overseen by a clubby, ineffective group installed by Alan Hasselfield. Alan is, of course, a longtime member of that Hasbro board of directors. Now, I reached out to Connor this morning for further comment. He did not return my call, but nonetheless, this is a very complicated situation that will probably come to a head when the company's annual meeting is held in a few weeks. Overall, Julie, here's my take on it right here. It is
Sazzi's Take.
Can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along on this situation? You have Hasbro shares still hovering around on a 52-week low. Now, Connor does bring up some good points. Perhaps they should explore deeper or pull the trigger on this Wizards of the Coast spinoff. Now, Hasbro, by its same token, has a good case that is put in its own right, saying that it might make sense just to keep this business, and they have gone on to appoint two very strong, very credible board members to its board. At some point, Julie, there has to be a meeting of the minds here and just get the situation resolved. Connor, at last check, owned about a 2.5% stake in Hasbro. Just get this done, get it evolved, and try to get the stock moving again higher.